Hey everybody, it's Anthony Pirozzi for another edition of Pirozzi Live. We're on the San Pedro coastline at the Corner Store, one of the longest established businesses here in San Pedro. We're going to talk to new owner John Bagakis about his vision for the future of the Corner Store. So John.
Anthony, hi.
How are you doing?
Good to see you. Welcome.
All right, so we're here at the Corner Store.
Yep.
Which you are now a majority owner of the Corner Store.
Yeah.
So how did that evolve? Well, how did that transpire? Because we know you're the lead or head manager at Big Nick's, as we can see from the shirt you love to wear all the time, which is great. People in the community recognize you with all that you do and all that you support. So now you're a majority owner here of the Corner Store. So how'd that transpire?
You know, it's still sometimes a little shocking to go to bed at night, wake up in the morning and go, oh, I have to check on what's going on at the Corner Store. But now when I wake up in the morning, this store's already open for business. Yeah. So I already have a business in progress, and my mom opens the store every day. But, you know, it was all about preserving a landmark in San Pedro. This has been here 75 years. On July 3rd was the 75th anniversary. And, you know, we've lost some things over the years here in Pedro, and this is one of those things we just couldn't lose. And I grew up as a kid coming to this neighborhood a lot, hanging out with friends that lived in this neighborhood. I didn't live in this neighborhood, but going to visit those friends was always a trip to the Corner Store.
Right. Yeah.
And it was fun to come in here and grab an old soda or chips and hang out and go down to Royal Palms at the time when, you know, Sail Del Mar didn't fall into the ocean. So a lot of good memories of the childhood just kind of said, you know, this felt right.
Yeah, it's funny you bring up the come here and get a candy and especially the old style candies here. So when my wife and I started having our boys, we live on the other side of town, and so we would make a trip over here just to have the kids get some, you know, whether it was the wax lips or the little wax-filled Coke bottles or the, you know, I like Abba Zaba, but most importantly is the root beer. So the root beer was always important. So for us, we'd say, hey, we're going to try a different one every time, and we, of course, probably forget which one we had last time, but that was always a staple for us. So are you going to keep some of those elements here?
Absolutely. So the funny thing is with the sodas, that's kind of like the first thing people see when they walk in. But people come in and they just go, oh, look at all these old sodas they have. Right. And I see people spend 5 minutes just looking row by row to find which one catches their eye that they want. So there was a good amount of sodas when we took over, but I've actually got the catalog and started really looking through this, and I thought, what are name catchy kind of soda names and fun looking bottles? Because I think you want people to get attracted to a bottle. So the first ones I saw in this catalog that we didn't carry were, they have pirate skulls, like Pedro Pirates. And I go, we have to have these. So we brought in, you know, the one's called Black Lemonade, and I forget what the other one's called. But there's a pirate skull as the logo. So it just felt right to have those here. But things like that are staying.
This is the case. This is where all the sodas are, as you would call them. But when my kids were little, I'd come look for the root beer. So I noticed the root beer I'd like to get when they were kids was the Jack Black because of the Pedro Pirate.
Yeah.
Right?
It's a good one.
But you have some other ones in here you want to point out.
Before I do, the most popular selling root beer, by the way, is always the classic, which is Dad's.
Dad's, yeah, we get that one too. Yeah.
I feel like almost every customer buys one of these. We sell a lot of Dad's.
Takes us back.
But I like the local, like this is going off of root beers, I like the local flavored named ones. So like, you know, we're close to Portuguese Bend. Yeah. So there's a soda called Portuguese Blend.
Wow, look at that.
Which is kind of a fun soda.
Huh.
Not your traditional soda. It's
a pineapple mint.
Yeah. So I've never tried it, but it's cool and it sells. And then, you know, to represent our neighbors across the way is Redondo Peach.
Redondo Peach soda.
And then, you know, the classic, and you know, it's funny because this is also a drink at the San Pedro Brewing Company. But Pedro Punch. You can never go wrong with Pedro Punch.
That's awesome. So, there was an A&W root beer in town, right on Gaffey, and I think it was, 14th Street?
I've heard about it.
I remember as a kid, get some root beer floats. Speaking of which, though, with all this root beer, Talk about the root beer floats.
So we do have an item on the menu that's called soda float,
Oh, okay.
which is basically you come pick any soda you want, and we will turn it into a float for you.
All right.
So it could be a root beer float, it could be a Pedro Punch float. Whatever you want, we will turn it into a float for you.
All right, come down to the corner store and get what floats your boat. It's interesting just being here for this interview. People have come in and you've introduced yourself, and they all have their thoughts about what's going to happen here as they see that you're in the process of painting, remodeling. Right. Signs are down. They're pointing out, what about that sign? Is that going to stay?
Right.
Yes. As long as it doesn't break when we take it down, we're going to move it to the back wall. So there's a lot. I can see there's a lot of care of the character of this particular establishment that you have in mind, because you know of the history, and that's one of the main reasons you purchased the property and the business. So talk to us a little bit about preserving that history.
Well, it's funny, like that first lady that walked in today, she doesn't even live in San Pedro anymore. She just occasionally is here, and you're not getting rid of that sign, right? I mean, you live in Utah, but that's how much people love it and care for it. This store opened in 1947. Yeah. I mean, our families weren't even in this country yet.
Right, that's true.
And
at least on my dad's side, my mom's side was, but yes.
And I meet people every day who go, I grew up at the corner store. My kids love the corner store. My grandkids now love the corner store. So it's about finding, my goal has always been, how do we keep the essence and the charm of the corner store and what it is, but add a little like 21st century vibe to it. So, a lot of these old pictures and local pictures stay. The old sodas and stuff stay. We keep the pastries. We keep the quick lunches. We keep the vendors that sell their own personal things in here, whether it's photography or candles or handmade items. But what do we add to that? And to me, the kind of underutilized gem they have here is the side patio. Beautiful side patio, kept in the shade pretty much most of the day, and in the summer, just a great place to hang out and cool off. And I thought, not only is that side patio an asset, but if we can go a step further, maybe get a beer and wine license to actually serve on site, because we can sell as part of the store to go, but we can't open. But I go, wow, that patio would be a fun place to, on a summer night, have a glass of wine or two and a little charcuterie and just kind of hang out and enjoy your neighborhood. Whether you live in this neighborhood or you're coming from another part of town, people love the coast here in San Pedro. And my other business is on the side of town where even right now it's 15 degrees cooler than it is here. And it feels so good to be here right now.
I know, it's where I live.
So, you can drive across town and actually feel the difference. Yeah. And when you talk about wanting to be outside and what did COVID do for us, it really showed us what we already knew. Outdoor dining is great. We love it. It feels good. And we want to be outside. Well, there's no better outdoor dining in San Pedro than on the coast of San Pedro, and we're right here. Yeah. So why not bring it to this neighborhood?
So what do you envision? Let's call it, a year, 5 years from now for the corner store. Where's your vision going to take us?
Every day I actually have different thoughts about that. Will the corner store just be the corner store with a fun outdoor patio? Will the corner store evolve into something more? I also have land in the back that's kind of underutilized and underdeveloped. I can pave that land and maybe do like a private party space, a gathering space. Create extra parking. There's a lot of different things I can do. So it's kind of cool. Yeah,
the one thing I like, it's, you either want to come here as a destination to hang out. You're part of the neighborhood, you can walk over. It's a meeting place, gathering spot for locals from all over. And the other thing is just its location, being here on the coast. It's, like you said, it's about 15 degrees cooler than the other side of town. If you take a step back, sometimes you forget you might be in Pedro.
Right.
You're just like, wow. It's almost like a throwback to another place in time. One of the ladies said to us when she came in, there used to be a meat market here, and you had talked about bringing deli in. some
Yeah,
kind of-
so the store has gone through some transitions.
Yeah.
Obviously, different owners have done things different ways. There was at one point, I believe, a full-scale deli in here.
Yeah.
Now, I don't know if it'll get back to that, and
Right.
we have some great delis in
Sure.
town. But I mean, I look at the menu, and I don't have a torpedo on the menu.
Right.
I'm a block from the coast in Royal Palms. I got to have a torpedo on
Right.
the menu. So that's going to get incorporated into the menu.
Sure.
You know, it would be nice if when I need a quart of milk or just some basic household necessity,
Sure.
I can go to the corner store and get it instead of having to get in my car and hook up and drive to, 25th and Western or another market in town. That's what corner stores are.
Yeah, of
Little
course,
neighborhood
yeah.
markets are. They're
Sure.
that kind of space you can go, oh, they have what we need. I don't have to drive. I can just walk or send the kids to go grab some, what do you need? Hamburger buns, ketchup, miscellaneous thing, bread to make sandwiches. We sell all that stuff. So I want to bring a little bit more of the market feel back into the store without disturbing what it is now.
I think what people will find when they meet you, having known you now for some time, is your commitment. The previous owner was Peggy Lindquist. Very nice lady, was ready to retire and turn the keys over to someone she trusted. And I know she picked the right person, the right family, and so I'm just excited that it's yours and your family's, and you're going to take it to a new level here.
Yeah,
for the
and
future.
we had a lot of conversations with Peggy before we even agreed to buy it. First, she asked me to help her find a buyer, and I was helping her look for someone to buy
Wow.
it. This is pre-COVID, 2019. And then COVID kind of paused a lot of conversation. But then I started talking to her, and I do my visits here, and all of us restaurant people know each other, and we mingle with each other. And she finally said to me one day, John, why don't you buy it?
Wow.
You're a
That's
restaurant
great.
guy.
Yeah.
You run a successful business. You do good things for this town. People appreciate that. I think that people would appreciate if you bought this and kept it going. And the way she termed it is, I know that you can give this place its wings. And that was, it's kind of touching that to get that kind of recognition from someone saying, like, I want you to be the one that buys my store.
I couldn't have found a better person to take over the corner store. That, John, with your ability to dazzle the community and give back to the community, this is the guy. He's my guy. So I'm so happy that John's the one that took over, and it's John and Chuck and Nancy.
Thank you, San Pedro, for 75 years and counting of support.
75
That's
more and
right.
more. You want to leave us with some closing comments?
Sure. Just that, come down, check us out. Come try our new espresso or cappuccinos on our brand new machine from Italy. Come see what we're doing and give us your thoughts and opinions, because a lot of what we've done and are planning to do is based on customer perspective. And we want to give back to the community and give the community a spot that's theirs. So,
All right, John. Well, thank you. It's always good to come.
good to
see
have you guys.
Yeah. And,
Thanks for coming to have a cappuccino with me.
That's
Anytime.
I know these are temporary cups.
That's another thing. New cups are coming soon. A lot of new things coming to the corner store that
Salud.
weren't here before.
All
Cheers.
Right. All right, everybody. This is Anthony Pirozzi for Pirozzi Live from the corner store here in San Pedro. Look forward to seeing you. Have a great day.
Cheers.
Salud.